That's not what I want. Minimize that shit. There we go. Now you can see us. Woo! We're live, probably.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
We'll see. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast, where there is a video version for anyone listening on the podcast feed, and anyone who's listening on the video version. Hi. Go and
Hello.
do both. We're on everything.
Increase our streaming numbers, please. We're desperate.
Yes, as you can see, not very high viewership, but that is probably because we only do it once a month now.
Well, you know what? Maybe people just don't like that we say things are objectively true.
True. But maybe it's because we don't talk about the hot topics anymore, Dan. We haven't spoken. You mentioned it last month, but we haven't talked about the biggest thing in the world at the moment. Because I didn't watch it, which was Kpop Demon Hunters.
Oh, yeah. You watched it?
I watched it like 2 days after we recorded the last episode, and I've just been stuck with an opinion on this movie for a month because we haven't had a chance to record it yet. And then since I watched it, it's just kept its traction, kept being the biggest.
Honestly, it's the most popular thing of the past month.
Yeah, I had the original thought, which wasn't original, but now because I've had to wait a month, it's not original and it's been in the public eye. It's the Frozen of Sony's movies, which
it is
a pretty average movie, but with very, 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 very popular songs that has enraptured the world for some reason.
The music is, I think it just has everyone on a chokehold.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's number one global on Spotify for the past month.
And it's been number one on, well, it's been in the top 10 of Netflix for the last 3 months, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sony has finally found their style for their animation films. Yeah,
see, I like the animation, and I think that's the only thing this movie's got going on for it. Plus, the songs are okay. Look, I don't hate this movie, and I don't think that the hate this movie will inevitably get is probably justified. I think it is a Frozen level movie, but it's better than Frozen.
I've not seen any movie getting hate in this film.
No, I'm guaranteeing you though there will be a shift where because it's so popular, people will start just hating on it. I know people who hate it even though they haven't seen it because it's just everywhere.
Well, yeah, but that's just people hating it because it's popular.
Yeah,
like Rick and Morty. Like, you hate it because it's popular.
No, I hate it because I think it looks terrible. And I don't find it funny. It has nothing to do with the fact that Rick and Morty was popular. If Rick and Morty was the worst show ever and someone told me it was good, I would still say it was shit. Because it looks terrible to me. I hate that art style. And I hate the comedy that most of it looks like.
I will be honest, though, when watching K-pop Demon Hunters, that cat made me laugh way more than it should have. Because it's just my humor. That was really fucking stupid, but I loved it so much. I just couldn't stop laughing.
See, my thing with this movie is I feel like it's a first draft because it's very, very generic. It's.
I mean, it is a kids' film. It's meant for kids.
I know, but you look at Spider-Verse, which is also a kids' film, and it's the same people and all of this, and it's the same studio and everything, and it's not the same people because it's Chris Miller and.
Yeah, but the difference is Spider-Verse isn't made for kids.
It is made for kids. Spider-Man is a kid's thing. It is.
The story is too much depth. For just
no, it's made for kids. It's
not a simple plot.
Doesn't have to be. Kids can follow it. Kids love it. It just helps that it is also. This is a very kids film. Yeah.
It's bright colors.
Yeah.
Very much a kids film.
But it is also very, very simple, like Frozen. It's big bad. The big bad is a cloud of fire. It's not... The boy band is the worst singing group ever, and their song's terrible. That was the thing.
You think their songs are terrible?
I think their songs are terrible. I think the boy band ones are rubbish. They're absolute dog shit.
Their song was number one before the girls' ones were on Spotify.
Yeah, because it's a.
But you're in the minority, mate.
I'm not the target audience for the song though, because it's literally targeting women. It's not targeting.
I will be honest. I actually do listen to a lot of K-pop music anyway.
I don't.
So I quite like K-pop music, and these songs, they're very good songs.
I don't hate Golden or the other one or whatever the fuck they are. I think their songs are good. I just thought the boy band ones were the shittest.
I do agree. I think the female ones are better, but I don't think they're shit.
I honestly hated that Soda Pop one. It's the worst thing in the world that I've ever listened to for a song that's meant to be like a catchy sort of, like every time they were doing their little head bobs, and I was like, this is the worst thing I could ever listen to. I despise it's just I don't like the boy band aspect on it. I think it's the weakest part. Like it's such a emotionless relationship that they form. Like it's so uninteresting. And it's just vague. Like none of the only guy who gets any development is the main frontliner. Like every other one is just eye candy, which I get is the point of K-pop bands, but like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't hate this movie. Like honestly, I have more criticism.
They're already gonna make a sequel.
There's talks about a live action remake. There's talks.
I think a live action's a mistake, but the two sequels.
Oh yeah, but it's also going to be Let's just talk of everything.
It's so popular. It's so popular.
Again, this is the Frozen effect. It's something that they're just going to ruin into the ground because it's too popular. I don't know. I don't hate it. There's got a sing-along version on Netflix as well now, which is also crazy to me.
Yeah, I actually saw there was a sing-along in the cinema.
Yeah.
You could go to, which is crazy.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It went to cinemas and it became #1 at the box office in America for cinemas.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that much money. It was just that I think a lot of the cinema stuff is kind of low at the moment. Because all of the big blockbusters are coming out, so... Or coming out like in their final weeks of being in it. But, yeah.
You know, the actual kind of... The base of the plot about people singing to prevent demons, that actually comes from Korean folklore.
I imagined. Like, I always imagined.
It's like a real Korean thing, so it's actually quite...
Oh yeah, it's always interesting when another culture's like suddenly starts getting popular, and you also because like I've been learning a load about Japan's like history and how like all their video games are deeply rooted in like Japanese history and everything like that, and like all of the stuff like that. It's always interesting. But yeah, no, I didn't hate this movie. I thought it was fine. I think it was just a pretty okay, watchable movie, and I think that's why it's become so popular. Because it doesn't require any brain power. And that's not a negative. I think it has broad appeal.
It was on a streaming platform.
Yeah,
because
it wouldn't have done well.
It's so accessible.
Yeah, I don't think this would have done well in cinemas without like a lot of word of mouth carrying it.
Yeah. Because like, to be honest, you go to cinema. I'm not going to pay £24 to watch this.
Well, you look at because you look at Spider-Verse's success. In a similar light, it didn't do that well at the box office, but when it went to streaming, it had 5 years to build up its audience, and people just grew. And then the next one did pretty well at the box office, all things considering.
I think animation in general works better streaming. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's this thing in people's heads.
Well,
I know it's not true, but they think that animation isn't as valuable as live action.
Oh yeah, I know. I have friends who think that if they watch an animated thing, they like someone I know likes League of Legends but won't watch Arcane because it's a cartoon, which is the most backwards logic. Right? Yeah.
So people don't want to go to the cinema to watch it because the cinema is expensive as it is. So they see cartoon animation as less valuable, so they're not going to go see it and they'll watch a live action instead. Well, and I think genuinely that's why. I think even The Mitch was in the Machine. That was another one Netflix did.
Yep, also Sony.
And that did well as well, because I know it's Sony, and Sony are doing well. And I know they have got a film coming out later this year, don't they? In cinema. You got Goat.
Oh, yeah. I saw a trailer for that. It looks bad, but I don't know.
It's still got a similar art style though, of that kind of 2D.
They've definitely got an art style that they're going to be known for now, which I also think's kind of a crutch that they're going to keep trying to rely on.
They're just ahead of everyone else. It's just an enjoyable art style too. It's like visually appealing.
Yeah. But
Because if you compare it to like Pixar or something, like, Pixar animation is very
it's
very generic.
because they're trying to do Disney's art style. A lot of Pixar stuff it's very like not exaggerated facial features and things like this.
Yeah,
it's kind of trying to show off the realism of what they can do with textures and things like that. And again, nothing wrong with it, but I think a lot of people do just see Pixar and Disney as interspersible now. Because
I mean, it kind of makes sense. They are the same company.
yeah, but Disney's like art style from like Frozen onwards all kind of look the same. Like Encanto, Moana, all of these like they look like they could all just be in the same world. They don't look like they don't have a distinct style anymore. And like a lot of Pixar stuff is like I think it's breaking away. But like the Lightyear movie and all of these things where they're trying to just showcase the tech and they're not really doing the art justice, I guess.
Yeah. I think people want something different, and to be honest, with Spider-Verse and this, it's just the plot's generic, but the actual visuals.
Oh yeah, different. No, I liked the visuals. The visuals were always like top notch.
It's the main selling point really for the film, mate. Yeah, the plot is not that great. I don't think no one said the plot is good in this film.
No, I just find that it's so funny that this is what I think this is what broke Disney back into like popularity with Frozen was that when Frozen came out, it was only like Tangled that had done that animation, and Tangled did alright, but then Disney's with Frozen with the song and everything that blew that sort of animation up into the forefront. Where it was like, look at this animation. And now Disney is basically kind of stuck with that for quite a while. And I think I heard that Disney's going back to Pixar's going back to 2D animation to try and distinguish themselves. Because I think their latest movie is a cat movie, but it's like 2D sketch style animation.
Yeah.
Which looked alright from the concept, but we'll have to see if the story can maintain, because Pixar is normally good at making a good story. It's just, I feel like, because the COVID thing with Pixar was that all of their films went to streaming, and they did alright, but then when they tried to go back to the cinema, all of their movies kind of flopped a bit until Inside Out 2, which was a sequel, and then you kind of get the sequel sort of, are Pixar just going to focus on sequels now to things that are popular? And are we just going to get the sort of... Because this is the thing. With this, like, I would love it if they did a new thing with a different team and a different art style and it got as popular. And we kept getting new original-ish things.
Yeah.
But,
to be fair, I think Sony has got a unique art style, but there's differences in the films.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Verse, this one, and I think that also helps them. Like, the differences, having a similarity, I think the main similarity is kind of...
It's an inspiration.
It's
an inspiration. Because the... It's not Sony, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie that came out a few years ago was compared to Spider-Verse. There's also Intergalactic or whatever it was, which was on Netflix, which was like a similar style to Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, and a lot of that sort of stuff is like, oh yeah. But I don't know. I thought this movie was perfectly watchable. I'd maybe watch it again later down the line if I ever get bored and I just need something to put on in the background as like an entertainment thing. But yeah, since I watched this movie about a month ago, I have heard the song because I work where there's a radio on, and the song keeps playing like twice a day, and I'm like, okay. So now I've just started calling it out to annoy one of my coworkers, because they're just like, then they don't want to. But I'm like, it's your favorite movie's soundtrack, and so they just.
So it's only just been knocked off the top 10,
right?
And to be honest, it's only because Sabrina Carpenter has released a new album, so all of her songs are on the top 10.
Right. Okay.
Who would have thought?
I still don't think I've ever listened to a Sabrina Carpenter song all the way through.
Yeah, they're all very sexual normally, the songs.
Well, I can tell why she's popular then.
Yeah.
It's the Sydney Sweeney Jeans effect.
I heard about that. But to be fair, even Yeah, so the golden song is at 443 million Spotify plays.
Well, I think Netflix has just released that K-pop Demon Hunters is now their most viewed film ever, and it's just pipped Red Notice at like 236 billion views or view hours
That's
or
crazy.
something. Something like I don't know if it's views or hours. I think it's something stupid like
His
that.
hours is even more impressive because it's technically a short.
I imagine it's views, not hours, but let's find out.
In fact, top 50 global is actually still golden, but it's just the UK is something that happened to.
Yeah, so 236 million views on Netflix, which pipped Red Notice, I think, whatever other garbage Netflix. Like, I also don't think that's also the best metric, because when you look at some of the other films on Netflix's most popular, you're like, are they actually good films? Because
The thing is, it's not the good.
I'm not saying this movie isn't a good film. I'm just saying if you're comparing it to what like is popular on Netflix, it doesn't necessarily mean that what it's going up against is of a comparable. There we go. Nope, that's not. That's this month. There it is. So yeah, so Red Notice, Carry On, Don't Look Up, The Addams Project, Bird Box, Back in Action, Leave the World Behind, The Grey Man, and Damsel.
Yeah, I'll be honest, most of those aren't great films.
Exactly. So I'm like, it doesn't necessarily mean that Netflix has the best, like...
Probably because Netflix just generally doesn't make good films.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people are like, yeah, look at this, it's the best thing ever. But, like, I am saying it's just more of, like, there's a reason why Netflix is, like, touting this as a good thing. Because their top 10 isn't amazing to begin with. It's just a lot of generic, here's a very simple thing with popular actors in it. So this is quite a unique new thing.
Well, the reason why it was on Netflix was because the creators pitched it to Sony, and they thought it would be a flop, or at least wouldn't be.
I imagine it would be a flop in cinemas.
It probably would be. I think that's the reason I suggested. Animation doesn't do well in cinema.
Animation does. Dan, the biggest movie of the year last year was an animated movie.
I mean, like, not big studios.
Not an original. Like,
yeah, not an original.
Like, I imagine it would have done well at the box office, like, especially if the word of mouth kept it, but I think its viewership would have severely been hindered. I think if they do the sequel and that goes to cinemas, it will be big.
I still felt the best route would be done to go both sides, go to cinema and streaming. And I do think that's kind of, I think, how the industry will go into, unfortunately. I feel like it has to, because people don't want... Some people want to go to a cinema.
No, people want an experience, but that's the thing.
Exactly, people want to do it, but it's so much money, especially in America. Going to the cinema for a family of four is so much money.
Oh, yeah,
and you can't blame them for not wanting to do that. And if you think of Netflix or Sony films, whatever, or Disney films, sorry, where they'll just wait until it goes onto stream platform, because it's much easier to justify spending £7 a month to watch any film you want than it is to justify spending 50 quid to go see the film.
But there's definitely people want to go to the cinema, because
absolutely, and I think that's why I think you're going to need to maybe go down both routes.
Well, that's why
because people will naturally flock to the cinema, right? People who want to go to the cinema will go to the cinema.
Oh yeah,
the ones who can.
It's just going to be more of it. Like, the cinematic experience is hopefully going to pivot more into a probably more expensive, but more of an experience to go to the cinema. Like, they will try do.
I was watching a video about this, and they suggested they think it would be very similar to happen to the music industry, because this has happened to the music industry with Spotify coming out. People used to buy the records individually, right? And artists would get more money. But then Spotify came out, and then all of a sudden the artists lost a lot more money because they weren't getting.
Oh yeah, well they made it all through touring now.
Exactly, and I think that's going to be a similar. I'm not sure how it will work, but it'll be a similar thing. People want the experience of the artist or whatever, so that's why they go and see it. So it'd probably be something similar with films.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Where
cinema's
people
gonna
will
die. I'm
go
just
watch
saying
it.
it will probably be a more because I we lost. Well, the cinema chain where I live shut down, and guess what?
Yeah.
We're getting a new cinema, but it's from like an independent group, so it's going to be a smaller, more like sort of luxury sort of cinema experience apparently. So it's probably going to be a bit more expensive, but you're going to get a nicer seating area. You're going to get smaller seating, so less people, so they don't have to worry about filling all the seats and getting their money. But the tickets will probably be a bit more expensive to give them a thing.
Well,
That's going to be
View has done this now because they've got recliners in all the seats.
Yeah, I went to a View to watch what was it, Superman, and that was the first time I'd been in a View cinema for a while, like ages, and they were like comfy seats. So, like, it's going to be more like you're going there for an actual escape rather than
Exactly, and I think that is what cinema will become. It won't be to watch a film.
Well, cinema's always just had to like a lot of the things is they don't have the money to invest into fixing it. Like when I was going to the cinema change that shut down, we went there and their projectors were playing up, so all of their screenings were basically stopped. But the management had basically told them to get them sort of like, we'll kind of fix them, and then immediately, like 2 days, 3 days later, they shut down, and it was like, oh, okay. I can see why, like, because you go to some cinemas and their audio is kind of bad because they just don't have the funds to, like, fix up and make it an actual nice thing. So you have to kind of go for the third-party sort of thing. But anyway, let's stop talking about this and talk about how League of Legends ripped it off.
What?
So, I don't... Because you would imagine the people behind some of the good music videos, some of the amazing TV shows for animation, wouldn't use AI-generated garbage to promote their stuff. But this is the trailer for a League of Legends Wild Rift, the mobile game, clearly ripping off Kpop Demon Hunters with its garbage animation. And this caused massive, like, controversy because of the fact that League of Legends has been known to do really good animated music videos. And it's just the sheer fact...
it is awful.
Yeah. But this is their horrible K-pop Demon Hunters, like, inspired. Like, you can clearly see the influence, like the crowds, the art style, all of this. And it's just the most generic garbage thing. All of the voices are AI as well. But yeah, like, the lyrics also are nonsensical.
It's so similar.
Yeah. And this came out, like, a month or two after K-pop Demon Hunters to promote the 3rd anniversary, so it seemed like there was no plan, and they just went, "Ah, fuck it, we'll get AI to do it." So, like, you can, like, people got really, really upset about this because, like, you would think people behind Arcane would want quality animation, and we get this garbage. But the lyrics also don't make any fucking sense because it's all AI-generated lyrics as well.
They even say "gonna be your idol."
Yeah.
Which is literally...
I'm not going to play any of the audio because, like, I don't want to get copyright strikes. But, yeah, it's Breathe Now, Scream. Like, look at the faces. It's atrocious. We are the champ. Like, it's... Oh, my God. It's the worst. And there's no consistency between any of it. But, yeah. So that was something that happened this month. That I just found crazy. Because, yeah, you'd think Riot Games would want...
Say, Riot normally, everything they do outside...
Arcane costs $625 million or something like that for the 2 seasons. They pumped money into it because they knew that the animation needed to be good. And then, like, we get this. And you, like, look at all the other ads for, like, League of Legends and stuff like that. and they're like top quality animated. The music videos that they've done are like, some of them have also been by Fortiche, the people who did Arcane. Some of them are also like highly other studios and things like that. And you're just like, why would you do this? Like,
I don't know, honestly.
it's just to save money, and it's terrible. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention this just because we were talking about K-pop Demon Hunters and how everything's gonna now look like K-pop Demon Hunters. But yeah, so also moving into a bit of an AI thing. Well, I'm not 100% sure is true, but I've been playing Destiny Rising, which is the mobile Destiny game. I did
play for a minute or two, but because I've been busy last week. But
it's okay. It does feel very like generic Destiny, but my main issue with it is definitely the audio. I feel like it's AI.
Right.
The audio feels so stilted, and I don't know if that's just because the performances are bad, but it does feel heavily like the tone never shifts. And the mouth movements don't match up to what they're saying. It feels like they're just doing open mouth, open mouth, open mouth. Like open, close, open, close, open, close. To like sort of slot audio that's AI generated into it. Because whenever they're like meant to be showing any emotion, the tone just stays the same. And I'm guessing it's AI. Because it just feels very, very like static, like very still, very unemotional. There's no like the main character feels very just like, yeah, that's your voice. It stays the same tone throughout any sort of dialogue option. The main dude like you talk to is also the same. I think the gameplay is interesting because it has remnants of Destiny in it, like all your super things and all this. It also, I would recommend if you're going to use it, use a controller, because it, like, the touch controls are a little...
it's a bit janky.
Yeah, it's still kind of janky with a controller, like the button layout you wouldn't expect when they map it to the controller, so I feel like you'd also want to remap some of the buttons when you're playing, because, like, B is to punch, or whatever button it is on, like A or whatever the one on the right side is. So it just feels a bit like, oh, okay, these button layouts feel a bit weird on a controller. But it's okay. I don't know how much I'll play of it. I think the story is, again, feels very AI generated. Like,
probably is. AI has been used in a lot of things nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's just consumerism, just trying to get things out as quick as possible, make money.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of, like, I think the graphics wise, for a mobile game, it's probably the most impressive game I've seen.
Is it more enjoyable than Destiny 2 right now?
I haven't played Destiny 2 in a while.
So that says all.
Well, no, I've just been busy. I don't have the time to like sit in it. I haven't bought the DLC that
Sparrow Racing?
Oh, I like Sparrow Racing. I was terrible at it, but I liked it. But yeah, I don't know. I think this... I don't... The thing I have noticed is it doesn't appear to be super egregious with microtransactions yet. Because it doesn't... feel like the home screen doesn't seem to just be littered with buy this currency, buy this thing, buy this thing. Because I don't know if you've ever opened Call of Duty Mobile or like PUBG, and just the home page is just here's ads, here's ads, here's ads, here's buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
I wonder if this game will do. I don't know. It depends how they make money. So I think Destiny 2's money system, how they actually made money, I don't think it was actually that bad. I think I kind of like the idea of buying a DLC for a story, because realistically that makes sense to me, and I can justify spending that money because you get like a new game each time.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily the cost of the DLC. I suppose not necessarily as justified, but I know like a lot of other games, they encourage you to spend money because they make the game more and more difficult until you spend money.
Oh yeah.
And then once you
Well, like
spend
you can
money,
see, like
they make the game
it's got
easier.
a microtransaction system, but I think it's mostly cosmetics. But I don't know. It's already hit 10 million players, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I think the main
because Destiny has a big fan fan base.
I mean the main selling
term,
point.
isn't it?
I'd say the main selling point of this is it's a new story with familiar stuff.
It's meant to be like a different universe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a parallel or semi-parallel universe or multiverse thing where there's vague like similarities, but some of the major stuff is different. Like you're already friends with some of the Fallen and things like that, and it's a tree instead of like growing under the Traveler instead of a city, and all of these things. But yeah, I think if you like again, the dialogue is very difficult to get through, but I think the world building is still there for a Destiny game. So I think the main problem that I think getting people on Destiny is the fact that you can't replay some of the story. And so like you try and get anyone you try and get anyone new who wants to learn about the story. You just drop them into this chaotic franchise that has no real like main hook anymore. It's just go fire this and shoot that. If you don't know all the backstory. And because they don't let you play the backstory anymore, it's very difficult to get people in. Because you're just like, why do I care about what I'm doing? Why do I care about why I'm doing any of this? And if you don't care, then it's like, why would I play?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to give it a go, but at the same time, you're right. Being an adult, you just don't have much time to play games.
Yeah.
You
Well,
always
apparently we can play it on PC as well.
Can you?
Apparently you have to download a different player, but
yeah, is it like I think you can do it like Android or something because you can.
No, I tried doing it on the Android beta thing, and it doesn't work. It doesn't have it as an option to play. But this is saying Moo Player is a thing that you can download to play it. So if you want to play it on PC, I imagine. I don't know. I'd have to see if that because I imagine there's going to be a co-op multiplayer aspect to it.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. I don't think anyone I know would want to play it except for maybe you. Because, again, I think it's going to be very difficult to sell people on a mobile version of the game.
I don't think we're the target audience. I think this
is definitely...
This is... Carry on.
No, you go.
I was going to say, there's a section of gamers out there that do not have a PC and do not have a console. They do just only play mobile phone games.
Yeah.
This is for them. It's not for... we have PCs and consoles, right? If we want to play Destiny, we'll just play Destiny too, right? This is for people who cannot play that. I know people who do not have... They just play phone games. And they want a new mobile phone because they want to play better mobile phone games. Because at the end of the day, a mobile phone is powerful enough now to be a handheld console. Yeah. Right? Like, most phones are very powerful, like chips that we do not use. Like, I'm sure you do not make use of your processor very often in your phone.
Probably.
I'm sure you're not doing very intensive tasks.
I have a lot of things open because I can do a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah, but that's RAM. Right?
I do play games at the same time as doing other stuff. I can open and close my phone. I have two. I can have up to like 5 screens, so I'm pretty good.
But yeah, I think this is for those kind of games.
Oh yeah.
And normally they do go into PC gaming, and maybe they're thinking they can make money by transferring over to Big Destiny.
I think it's got potential. We'll see how like they keep at it. I don't know how much I'll be playing. It does seem to be like I have to, because again, it's something I have to sit down and actually focus on. It's not something that I can just, because I like, you have to have it basically the phone extended, because like sitting and watching it on like that size isn't very interesting.
No.
So I always open up the phone. That drains my battery. So it depends on how long I can play with the phone, and also it'll probably start overheating because all of the intense settings and everything like that. So
yeah,
it's I think it is you sit down and play it just So I'm hoping it doesn't become like a Destiny sort of thing where I go to play it and then I spend an hour just sorting out all my stuff. And then I don't end up playing because I don't have the time.
If Destiny wants to continue, I fully think they need to make a new game. I think Destiny 2
I think
now
they
is
just need to split multiplayer from story and just have two separate things.
Yeah, because to be fair, I think originally the whole point of Destiny was to grind in the PvE world to get better guns to play PvP.
Yeah.
That was the kind of USP of it. And people tend to not do that. They prefer either playing PvP or PvE. And you are right in that sense.
I think they just need to give the multiplayer stuff for free, which then fuels it like GTA Online, where people buy cosmetics and buy all of that stuff. But then have the story stuff where you can still play it 3-person multiplayer if you want, but you get all of the story in order as it just goes, and you can just play it like that with the exploration, with all of the stuff. But I just think that would be the best way to go about it, but I don't know. Because I think at this point, the hardcore story fans and the hardcore multiplayer fans are probably quite separate at this point.
I mean, saying that, Destiny 2 is actually now, they reset the power level. They changed it back to 0 now. Yeah, it's back to 0. 0 to 200. Okay. To be fair, it was at 2000.
Fair.
Which is a bit fucking weird because they just kept increasing it.
Well, yeah, that's the problem with an everlasting, like, sort of always continuous game is just, like, you always have to increase the power, so there always has to be another bigger, badder threat that justifies... Because it's the Superman problem. The more powerful you get, why would they be doing low-level stuff? Because they always have to be doing a world-ending event to justify, like, otherwise they could just solve everything. But we'll see. Did you ever go watch Superman, or you still not watch Superman?
I was meant to watch it yesterday, and they weren't showing it yesterday. But they showed it every other day. And yesterday was the only day I could have watched it.
Sad.
Which was
but
fucking
you
bullshit.
Ended up going and watching Freakier Friday.
Freakier Friday. So this is influenced by my partner, I may add. So I actually watched the first one and the second one, kind of back to back. I'll be honest, I enjoyed the second one a lot more than I thought I would.
I've not watched either.
It was actually... Now I read high beforehand. Bit of premise, the mother and daughter switch bodies.
Wow.
Because I think it's the original premise. I think it's the original one to do it, because everyone... I've heard a lot of...
No, this is based on... Freakier Friday is based on a really old franchise.
Well, it's based on a book.
I think there's another movie. I'm pretty sure.
It is based on a book. Freaky Friday is based on a book.
Yeah. I think there's just a movie. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about
1976 film, there you go. Which is the same premise.
Yeah, but Freaky Friday book was 1972.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, for movies, it's not an original concept.
Technically, it's not a movie; it's a comic about.
Okay. Well,
Anyway, moving on. Doesn't matter.
Body swap is not an original thing.
No, you're right. I never said it was, but I thought because they came out 2005, the first Freaky Friday. It's a Disney film.
20 years ago, you were
watching
just a
the
wee
first
baby.
one. I know. Watching the first one now, it's very early 2000s.
Yep. Do you love the fact that the dad was trying to make out with the daughter or whatever it was because the daughter was in the mum's body?
Yeah. To be fair,
those sorts of tropes where,
Yeah. I don't think the first one was that great. I think the first one was fine, but I did cringe a few times, but it's just because of the kind of style back then. The second one, however, I think is better. And I think it's better because you can just tell the two main actresses, they're just having fun. They're having so much fun just playing the roles, because in the second one, it's not the mother and daughter. It's the mother and grandmother swap places with the two daughters.
I thought it was a daughter and a friend.
No. So it's the it's stepdaughter and daughter, technically.
Oh, okay.
So it's a stepdaughter-daughter swap places with the mum and the grandmother, and you can just tell like Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, they're just having so much fun, both playing, because it wasn't the same before. Before it was kind of just one person as a dynamic, whereas this time you had them bouncing off each other. And yeah, honestly, it was quite fun. I can't lie. I thought a few funny moments. Seems to be relatively popular, I think, but I think it's kind of that almost like a cult classic if you grew up with that film.
Yeah, I think the first one was relatively well received to be.
Like I said, it's not a bad film. Neither was bad. And as far as sequels go, I do think the sequel was better than the first one, which I think is an accomplishment to an extent for having a film that's 20 years old. Usually, it's shit.
Yeah. Plus, Lindsay Lohan has kind of had a little bit of a resurgence in popularity because she's kind of gotten over all of the bad stuff that she was doing. Because she was a young teenage Hollywood actress who probably got a lot of bad stuff happen to her. Because Hollywood. Because I think she was on cocaine a lot of the time. So we'll see.
Oh, 2003, the original film, so it was even not younger.
Yeah.
But
you enjoyed it.
I mean, technically the second one was the same plot. It was almost like an homage to the first one, I would say. It wasn't like trying to do something completely revolutionary. It was almost like the first one plus.
Was it woke?
And there's a lot of callbacks. Was it woke?
Yeah.
There was a moment, but it almost felt like they're taking the piss out of it.
Right. Okay.
I think it was talking about EDI stuff or something. Or EDI, was it? I remember seeing a pride flag or something. And it was you can't, something like that.
Okay.
But there was nothing obnoxious about it.
Let's type in Freakier Friday woke and see what happens. AI mode? Why do I want an AI mode? I don't want an AI mode. Worth it or woke? There we go. Worth it or woke is it was actually a good movie. Maybe some woke stuff, but very minimal. It's fun, and I think you should watch it if you like the first. Thanks, worth it or woke. Let's see what else.
It's just a fun film. It's just a fun film, and
let's have a look.
It's kind of similar to K-pop Demon Hunters. You can just have fun with it.
They gave it a 3.5 stars. Story plot. No, I'm too woke to get notified about the newest reviews. You can unsubscribe.
Why are you talking about wokeness? It's such a stupid. I fucking hate.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wokometer. Oh my god, 1 year, 75% coupon code Labor Day. What are we doing? What is this website? Hang on.
Things people genuinely do care. They won't watch it if it's considered woke.
Ah, yeah. Dean Cain steps up as real-life hero joins ICE. Did you see that? Superman's joined ICE. He was the TV Superman.
I think sometimes there is a problem in script writing where they're trying to be inclusive. But that's to do with the script writing. That's not to do with the themes.
Most highest.
That's usually just because they're told that they have to have a certain, I don't know, some kind of trope or something, like gender diversity or something. And the script writers are just a bit shit and can't. It's kind of like shoving a cube into a circle hole.
Elemental got woked, Dan. Oh, Sinners got woke. Oh no! Star Wars The Acolyte is woke. Barbie is woke. Oh no! Deadpool not woke. Whew! Thank God. But they still gave Sinners a 3 and a bit stars, so... Wow. I'm glad we found worth it or woke. Anyway.
Such a shit fucking website. Moving on.
Yeah. I went and watched Weapons, which I enjoyed.
Like a horror film.
Yeah, it's basically the premise is a classroom of kids, except for one kid goes missing and no one knows why. And then you basically learn through different sort of viewpoints what's gone on, basically. And I will say nothing more than that. Because I think people should just go watch it. It's a good movie. Not the best movie. I'm not a horror person. Is it a
horror film with jump scares, or was it horror because it was eerie?
It's probably more vibes based than anything else.
So what, unsettling, would you say? Because there's different types of horror, right? There's some horror
I'm
that are
not the
just based on
person to talk.
scares.
Yeah, I'm not the person to talk about horror with because I don't watch horror because I find horror.
I mean, neither do I, but I know that kind of the difference is because I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like the
yeah.
ones that are just jump scares. 'Cause I'm like, that's
I
the fucking
find
point.
horror to be a genre that I find infuriating because most horrors, the characters are insufferable and stupid. And
Yeah, absolutely. And you're like, you know, a jump scare's gonna happen, and you're like, I know it's gonna happen. They're gonna be died. They're gonna get
yeah,
killed. Oh,
and
look,
then
they
it's
got
it's
killed.
it's
Well
just
done.
loud for the sake of being loud.
Yeah, and usually the plot is awful because it's not based on any substance. It's just based on being a horror.
Yeah. But no, this one, I like the story. I like the premise of it. It's one of those ones that you kind of go, oh, why? But it's also kind of just like it doesn't end in the way that I would expect it to end. It's a very like, oh, okay, this is how it ends sort of movie. But yeah, I don't know. I just went and watched it because I've heard it was good, and people were like, just go in blind. So I did, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. But it's
Well, it's
worth a
got good
watch.
reviews. It's currently sitting at 7.8 out of 10. I know we shouldn't watch reviews to
Yeah,
judge things,
well,
but
yeah, but
well,
only our reviews are the best reviews.
to be honest, I usually say if a film has got above a 7 out of 10, it's 100% worth a watch.
Don't worry, Dan.
No.
We'll get to reviews and how good they are
So
in a minute.
sometimes bad review films are still good.
Yeah. We'll get to, like I said, we'll get to reviews because I've got something special for the reviews at the end. But
Alright,
you
cool.
want to
I thought
talk
this
about
was,
Wednesday?
Have you not watched it? When did it come out?
Like Wednesday?
Which Wednesday? I don't remember. It came out last month or this month? I don't know.
it came out at the beginning of the month. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I watched it.
I'm
So they
basically
released it in
waiting
2
for
parts.
because season 2 comes out this
Yeah.
week, so I was just gonna wait for it all to be out and then watch it. I should have watched it before, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, so this season we have a lot more of the Addams family.
Yeah.
So I won't spoil it too much, but yeah, this one has a lot more of the Addams family involved. It's not really just focused on Wednesday. So her brother Pugsy, he's also now enrolled in the school,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the mother and father are in every episode for the first half,
Right.
which wasn't a thing before because before it was pretty much only focused on Wednesday.
Does Jenna Ortega do another little dance?
Not yet.
Oh.
This show is definitely a continuation of the previous season. So it's worth just watching that. I think Netflix to recap what happened. It's
Mhm.
worth just knowing what's happened. 'Cause like I said, it is a continuation, basically.
I
And
remember
there's a
what
lot
happened in
of,
the last season.
What I would
Vaguely.
say is, it's split in 2 parts. I think it's split quite well in the 2 parts, where
Mhm.
it does actually feel, at the moment, I've not seen the second half, but it does
Yeah, it's
feel
not
like
out
we've had,
yet.
yeah.
It comes out this week.
The
Yes.
first part main theme has ended, and now
Mhm.
they've kind of set up a second theme for the next season, for the next half of the season.
Right.
And I kind of like that to an extent, where it feels like there's and I think this is something that was good about the first one, if I remember, was they have like kind of these plot threads, but they kind of resolve quickly. It's not there for ages. It's not like a whole plot thread. You do have a kind of a core mystery for the whole season, but you kind of
Mhm.
learn a bit more about things, and you figure out more questions, then answer those questions. And generally, I think a TV show written like that is quite good, because I always get fed up if it's just because I've seen some TV shows where it's just like the whole series is leading up to this one question, and it's like there's no resolution until the end, and that pisses me off
Right.
because it doesn't get you hooked. You're just like, wow, it's finally fucking over.
Dan, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do we want cheap viewers on streamboo.com? Remove the space.
What?
We got a
Cheap views?
comment.
Hello. Yes, comments
Yeah,
like this.
I want cheap views. Give us cheap
Sure.
views. I
Give
love
us cheap views,
view
yeah.
botting.
Love it. I bought us view.
I'd heard that Twitch has
Excited then.
been
I thought it was
getting...
a comment.
No! It's a view bot. Do we want views? Yes. Pay us. No. Sorry. I just find that funny. because I heard Twitch had a massive view bot problem recently, where all of the top streamers are basically getting view botted. So I didn't know we were part of that. I mean,
yeah, must be just so good.
Anyway, let's continue talking about part 2s, because Wednesday is getting its part 2 coming out. But the Sandman's part 2 of season 2 came out.
I've still not watched the Sandman season 2.
It's good. It has a nice conclusion. It sucks that the main guy is a bit of a creep. So we won't get any more because I was liking this. But yeah. No, it's good.
Honestly, I just forgot it came out.
Yeah, it wraps up nicely. I think it does a good job.
That's good to hear.
I think it's a satisfying conclusion to the show that I would have liked to see more episodes of. Which is probably the testament to how good... Because I realized whilst watching it, like, 90% of this show is not action, it's just dialogue. Like, there's maybe 1 or 2 bits where you're like, oh, here's some sort of fight or things. It's characters in it, like... Because, like, anything with, like, the devil and, like, Lucifer, you're like, oh, expecting this big fight, and it's just like, no, we're just going to have an exchange of, like, dialogue, and there's just going to be some visuals to showcase, like, different animals. There's no, like, actual big fight sequences. It's just kind of like, oh, yeah, words are our weapon. And it's a testament to how good the acting and the performances are and the writing, that it's like, yeah, I am not bored with no action. Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it wrapped up nicely. I'm sad because I want more, and I'm sad also because the guy who wrote it is a creep, so we won't get any more. I maintain what we should do with Hollywood is if someone becomes a creep or whatnot, we just strip them of their work and it becomes public domain.
Yeah.
I think Harry Potter should become public domain. I think Sandman should become public domain. I think we should just strip any musical artist who makes a good song and then becomes a creep as public domain, so you can use it in unlicensed register. So they make no money off of it, and it just, if you become a creep, you lose your rights to stuff. I think that's the best way to stop Hollywood from becoming creepy, and the music industry. Like, all of P. Diddy's songs and all of Kanye songs should just be free public domain use songs now, because they're terrible people. All of the Harry Potter franchise should be free. Like, I think that's the best way. Anyway.
Yeah. Moving on.
Get political there for a moment. Let's talk about Star Wars, which isn't political at all.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, this month I was going to try to finish off The Last of Us Part 2, because I haven't finished it yet.
And
then I noticed that Star Wars Jedi Survivor had about 9 days left to complete before it went off PA Plus. And I was like, I can do this. I reckon I can grind this out in 9 days. It's actually quite a long game. So I sunk 30 hours into it over 9 days, which is actually quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
However, I didn't actually get to finish.
Oh no, so you're going to have to buy it.
Well, for some reason, because I've already played it on PlayStation, it thinks I own it, so I can't actually buy it.
Yeah, because it's registered under PlayStation Plus, so you've purchased it under PlayStation Plus. There is I think you have to work around it, but you can purchase stuff still.
So, yeah, I kind of can't finish it, but overall, the gameplay is, it's very good, interesting. The story, I think, is, I think it's a bit more in depth than last time. It's not just fighting the Empire; it's something a bit different. It's all about finding a refuge for the victims of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, genuinely, I think honestly the Jedi games have been the best thing I've ever seen in Star Wars. Like, the gameplay is fun. They've had a lot more.
17.53 down on Amazon.
Well, turned out today, I actually discovered I actually already have it free on my PC. For fuck's sake.
Wow.
But I have to start again.
Should have played it on PC.
Yeah, I should have played it on my PC, but
We'll just wait for
I
it
might
to
start
come on
again.
PlayStation again.
Or that.
Can
I
you
don't know
not?
if it
Because
will.
it's EA. It's EA. Can't you use
not.
the EA?
It's not
ec-
because EA. So that's why I have it on PC because EA Play you get part of Game Pass.
Yeah. So would the save not transfer?
No,
Uh,
because EA are incompetent fucks.
oh yeah. Well, it's the same with Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
It pisses me off so much that the save files from like and your DLCs don't transfer to like PC.
Yeah, I mean this one's even more stupid because you have to have a different subscription for each platform for EA Play.
Hmm.
Which is imagine if you had Spotify, like yeah, you can't have it on your PC and your phone. You have to have one different one for each one. It's like or Netflix, it's like yeah, you can't have it more than one TV. You got to have a subscription for each TV. Like, what the fuck?
You kind of do with the 4-person tier on Netflix, but and with password sharing, it is kind of cracking down on that.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, even with Xbox Game Pass, you can have it on your PC and your Xbox.
Yeah, but Dan,
It's not
I'll
like a
get to
separate
it.
one for each one.
But you don't
Anyway, that's
actually
fine.
own your games; they're all rented,
Yeah.
which we'll get to when I do a video.
The only kind of main criticism I think of this one, there's a couple. It's a couple. It's like there's mainly this main world that the game's centered around, and it is huge, kind of open room space, and I think it kind of hinders it because it takes a long time to travel from place to place. There's not really there is some fast travel, but it's very long and expansive, and I think
Well, that's how they drag out the
biggest-
game time.
Yeah, so I spent 30 hours on it, didn't finish it.
Yeah, how much of that was
Kind of
traveling though? So 15. That's the thing. All of these, like Assassin's Creed, boasts of like the newer ones boast of like having 100-hour plus game times, and it's like the main story 20 minutes, and then the actual exploring of the world is the
To
100
be fair,
hours.
no, the story is actually quite long and in depth. Though, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think the story itself is 20 hours in Star Wars Jedi
Yeah.
Survivor, which
but you
is
spent 10 hours
pretty
trying to
decent.
get to it.
well, and also just opening up like loot crates and doing the
Oh, loot crates.
during
I'm wearing a
the
loot crate.
completionist thingy.
Look, I'm wearing a t-shirt about loot crate.
I think you're the same as me, where you're a bit of a completionist in games. You're like,
I'm someone who will try and be a completionist, but will fail horribly. Because I get very, very bored of doing it.
my
So-
biggest accomplishment, which isn't much of an accomplishment, and a bit sad, is getting a platinum trophy in every Spider-Man game.
I still don't think I have a platinum. I think the most I've achieved is Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider. I 100% completed the map and found everything, did everything, completed the story, and I 100% completed it. And that's the most I've ever 100% completed a game. But I didn't earn anything because I didn't do it on Nightmare difficulty or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Speaking of video games, I watched a video game movie.
Oh yeah.
I watched Gran Turismo, based
Ah.
on the real life events of a guy who went and did
David
a Gran
Harbour, isn't
Turismo. Yeah, David Harbour, Orlando Bloom, other guy who's the main guy who I can't remember the name of. I should find out. Archie Madiq. I have butchered that. Probably. It's all right. For a video game movie, like I was expecting nothing, but it's
the reviews are better than I expected.
yeah, it's not a bad movie. Like it's an interesting story. It's an interesting concept. Well, it's because it's based on a real
Is
life
F1
event.
better?
To be honest, I probably like this more than F1.
Do you really?
I think they're about the same. I didn't love F1.
Yeah.
I think F1 has this I maintain that my problem with F1 is the same problem I have with Top Gun Maverick, which is It's meant to be, here's this build up to the new generation taking over from the old generation.
Yeah.
Psych! The old generation is still number one. Fuck you, kids. It's all about us. Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise cannot die. I think the main controversy with this was, I think, the placement of the tragedy. Because I don't know if you know the story, but they actually did have a crash which killed someone.
And we're alive.
Yeah, like the actual driver. But I think the placement in the movie is before like a redemption arc. So like they have a crash, they kill someone, which happened in real life, I think. But I think the events of the movie have been shifted a bit because they go and do a Le Mans race after it. And it's like, oh, you've redeemed yourself sort of thing. But I don't think that happened in real life. Where they still probably did the Le Mans, but I think the crash happened afterwards and they wanted the crash in the movie. But I think it's the placement of where it is as like this big, you're like redeemed, like you've gotten over your trauma sort of thing based on a real, like, so I think that was the controversy. I don't know. I didn't look into it too much. I just saw that there was like people like the placement of this seems a bit egregious, where it's like feels a bit disrespectful. But the actual driver in real life does the stunts for the movie, like the actual driving in the movie, apparently. But yeah, it's an alright film. It's watchable. It's certainly past the time. I think it's better than what it should be. Yeah, it's alright.
It's just a casual film.
It's for what it is, it's good. Like, you can't expect more from it. Like, it's not going to be this amazing, like, masterpiece of a film. Because it's just a video game story.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's a condensed, I think, 2-hour movie. And you're kind of like, okay. How much can we tell of the real guy's life?
Generally have, like, they're not always the easiest to watch.
Yeah, for a racing
F1 is the action. Like, the actual driving action F1 is incredible.
Ford v Ferrari as well. Like the story on that and the driving in that is great. I know people love Rush. I hated Rush because I thought the driving sequences in Rush were the worst part. And everyone was like, no, the driving in Rush is amazing. And I'm like, no, it's the worst part because it's just shaky and unwatchable. And it's like I couldn't follow any of the action, whereas like in F1 and Ford v Ferrari, I can actually follow who's winning. Whereas in Rush, it's just like strapped to the side of a car and it's just like it's just going fast. So you have no idea where the placement of any of the drivers are. You don't know anything like what's happening, and you're like, it's so weird. Whereas this, they use like video game graphics to show you where everyone is on the track and who's winning and all of that. So yeah, it's fine. It was watchable. I think I had low expectations and it kind of went, oh yeah, no, it's good-ish. Dan, you want to talk about The Bear because you're finally watching The Bear.
Oh, I've watched The Bear. I've just finished season 2. I think I'm partway through season 3.
Are you stressed?
No.
Yeah. Okay. It's a very stressful show to watch.
It is, but yeah, I quite like it. I think it starts off a bit slow because I know it's been out for a long time, and you spoke about it season 4 last month. And so yeah, I started watching it, and I think it generally does get better the more you watch it.
Yeah.
And season 2, I really enjoyed. Richie has become one of my most hated characters to my favorite.
Yeah.
His whole arc,
yeah.
I loved his arc so far. I don't know if it gets worse or better from where I currently am, but at the moment, my time is Kami's a little bitch, unlike everyone else.
What I can't. What is the end of season 2? I'm trying to remember. Is it?
He's locked in the freezer, and then Richie's banging on the door saying, "I love you," and then Kami's like, "I fucking hate you."
And then his girlfriend at the thing.
And then he says like bad shit to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend leaves him.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. So yeah. Season 3 doesn't swap the roles. Just no, it's good. No, Yeah, your season 3 is kind of a slower paced one. It's more of a like
Yeah, I've noticed
character driven thing. Well, you haven't watched season 3 yet, but
I'm partway through it. I can tell from what I'm there.
It's definitely a slower, more here's some of the other characters to shine, not just like Carmen. Season 4. Well, yeah, he's
such a little bitch.
His entire thing is self-destruction, and it's him trying not to be self-destructive. That's the whole premise of season 4, is just him actually trying not to be self-destructive, and how it basically kind of makes everything better. But it comes at a cost, and I won't tell you what that cost is, but
I'm very interested.
But yeah, no, I'm glad you're watching it. It's a good show.
Yeah, no, I'm watching my shows, Getting there. Don't think there's much else to say, really. A lot has been said already about the show.
Nice. I also went and watched another horror movie. So August is the horror. There's not been much on that I've wanted to watch except for like these two horror movies.
I've seen this one advertised on.
Yeah,
TV
Together.
shows.
It's by an Australian first-time director called Michael Shanks, who's
the fucking eyeball scene I've seen in the trailer. Fucking weird.
Yeah, so he's basically done a bunch of stuff on YouTube. So this is his first theatrical movie. If you want to watch something of his that's really good, his like animated short film, Rebooted, is basically the story of like an old Hollywood like skeleton that basically is stop motion with live action characters and things like that. Harry and the Hendersons sort of thing. And he's also got a behind the scenes on how it was made and all of this. He also had an Australian thing called Wizard of Oz, where a wizard from like D&D sort of fantasy world comes to the Australia and just lives a regular life, but it brings all of the chaos of D&D to the Australian like suburbs and stuff like that. He's a very funny person. And he's been on like a bunch of podcasts that I would listen to for like things like that. And I've just known about this guy for like ages. And so for him to have like a film is really cool. So yeah, I went and watched it because I was like, I'll support this guy. Dave Franco and Alison Brie are a real life couple. So I was hoping their chemistry on screen would be good because it's about a couple who move to a cabin in the woods basically, and then weird shit happens to them. And yeah, fuck me, this movie is great. For like the sound design, the shot design, the weird shit that happens in this movie. I think it's another one of those ones where you got to go in kind of blind. Like, I know the trailer kind of gives away what the thing happens, but still, I think just knowing nothing about this movie helps. Yay! Maybe? Yay. Yep, it's working. Cool. We're back. My internet shitted itself and we lost some audio, so if you're hearing this, it's probably streamed from the VOD.
Yep.
So we apologize for that.
Audio. Fine.
Yep. Anyway, we'll move on from Together to Dan wants to talk about where is it? What was it? Nope. Wait. Yep. There. Fit for TV.
Yeah, Fit for TV. It was a documentary about the biggest loser in America. And it was basically how fucked, I mean, it's very common, but producers basically didn't care about the contestants' well-being. And there was like 300 contestants, I think. Yeah, it's kind of fucked because they had a doctor on the show and they were like, this is not a good, you should not do this.
Oh, yeah.
And no one should lose a stone a week. That's so unrealistic. And they had these people.
Clip of this guy down at the bottom left, who I think was one of the
12,
PTs or whatever it was. And he was just like, we're doing horrible things to these people, but it's for the viewerships. And he basically said, yeah.
You know what was ironic as well? Because this guy was like, oh yeah, doctors have a god complex. They always think they're right. And they're like, straight up after, he was like, yeah, I'm a personal trainer. I know what I'm doing. And I was like, that's so ironic. And I'm like, doctors don't have a god complex. Like maybe some of them do, but they genuinely know what's better for the people than personal trainers do. Like
Yeah.
health is personal trainers are known to not be great at health knowledge. And they made him burn 6,000 calories a day or eat 800,
Mm-hmm.
which is mental. And the way they would treat the contestants, they would just yell at them constantly. And they make them do so much exercise. Someone they died because of their body wasn't used to the exercise they were doing.
Yeah. So this is a very popular doctor with 14.3 million
Yeah,
views.
I actually watched this video.
Yeah.
Watch this video afterwards. It kind of reiterates the points of. To be fair, the documentary is a good documentary because it highlights the problems, right? But the actual what happened in The Biggest Loser was horrendous, really, and it was anything but a health show. And even the producer said if they were to do it again, they just wouldn't do a cash prize. But that's kind of not. The problem is it's called The Biggest Loser, and it just wasn't good.
Well, yeah, you're not meant to lose that much weight.
Everyone put all the way back on again straight afterwards because
Yeah.
they changed their metabolic grades to be so low. Like your body learns to adapt to burning 6,000 calories a day, and they don't teach them like good eating habits.
No.
And also, fucked thing was they had temptations. They would call them like temptation challenges, and it would be like whoever eats the most food can talk to their family.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
it's the same with cigarettes.
that's so bad.
You're not meant to just go because everyone goes cold turkey with cigarettes and then just immediately relapses whenever they go back to because your body is just like coffee is the same thing. You're not meant to just go cold turkey to like try and stop doing because it's an addiction, and your body will.
Yeah, the thing is, caffeine addiction's a weird one for me because I don't feel like I need a coffee. I do drink coffee.
I don't.
But I can easily go like a few days without coffee, but I will have like symptoms of like headaches.
Yeah.
It's not like the urge of I need a coffee. It's just that if I don't have it, I get like withdrawal symptoms in a different way.
There's a lot of people. It's why I've never started drinking coffee because I was aware of all of this and I was just like.
But to be fair, caffeine isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like coffee's not actually bad for you.
No, but I just don't want to be reliant on it. I see everyone just become so reliant on this thing, and I'm like, because like I wake up relatively early in the morning and go to bed relatively late at night, and I still don't need coffee to like get through a day. Like whereas I see people just constantly just pouring coffee, having coffee just to live through the day, and I'm just like, you're not helping yourself. I really don't.
I find so for my job is a lot more thinking. It's not necessarily physical labor. I use my brain a lot more.
How dare you?
And
I use
I'm a
my
lot more
brain all the time.
because
I have to deal with idiots, Dan. I'm part of my
design circuits and a lot of that kind of thing.
I have to talk to
I find it a lot easier to do my job with caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel less distracted. I feel more focused, and that's not necessarily. I'll say it. I don't think it's like got worse because of the caffeine, like not having caffeine. Let's say I think it's just better to have the caffeine for, and it's not like. I think if I went cold turkey, not cold turkey, but let's say I got off caffeine, I don't think I would see an improvement without caffeine. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, but
it sounds really kind of stupid because the thing is, caffeine does have benefit, and even in this show, they say they abuse caffeine too much because it helps weight loss.
Yeah,
it is. Caffeine's like a weird drug. Like there's actually,
it also helps your bowel movement.
Too much of it is bad. Yeah, it's actually good for you. And
I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. I just don't want to be ever like these people who are overly reliant.
Some people are dependent, but I have one coffee a day.
Well, it's like everything. It's everything in moderation. It's like junk food. You can have it, but you just have to be smart with it. Everything is just moderate.
I know someone had like 14 coffees a day.
Oh yeah, I know loads of people.
Fucking
yeah.
Like, I have one in like midday, and I'm like, yeah, that kind of helps me. Like, good, and I enjoy the taste of it.
It's similar like energy drinks. It's the same thing. Like, I'm not saying I don't drink caffeine.
Like caffeine. There's the same amount of caffeine in the double shot espresso as the energy drink, I think.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't have
Yeah.
caffeine. I'm just saying I don't drink coffee, but I don't really have like energy drinks throughout the day. I occasionally have like a Coke Zero or something whenever.
Yeah, to be fair, there's not that much caffeine in the Coke Zero. I think
Yeah.
a 2 liter bottle of Coke is the same as a double shot of espresso.
But like I
So you have
very
to drink all
rarely
of it so much.
yeah. But I'm not like overly reliant on caffeine to be awake and motivated and things. And I know that people like circumstances and lifestyles are always different, but I think there are some people who just use it as the main source of being,
I
or
think
they
the
don't
bigger
even like it.
issue isn't people drinking caffeine, is that we've created a society where you are expected to work between like 9 to 5,
Oh yeah,
realistically, or at least kind of variant to that. Not everyone's body clock is a circadian rhythm is designed for that.
oh yeah, no, but
And a lot of people have like a rhythm of like they want to go to bed at 12 and wake up at 10. Or I go to bed at 2 in the morning, wake up at 10.
well, I'm a night
And these
person rather
people
than an early morning.
exactly. So
But
you're
I
one of these people. And I know you don't drink caffeine, but you would probably find it beneficial to you. Well, no, see, it's what you don't want to do, and that makes sense. But you probably would find it beneficial to drink coffee in the morning to get
not really,
to
because
help you get.
I can wake up early in the morning. It's just my thing is if I close my eyes again, as soon as I'm up, I'm up.
Yeah, that's it.
Like the main thing for me is as soon as I'm up, I'm up. It doesn't matter, and I will stay awake until I need to go. I go to bed. So whether or not it's early or later in the day because of whatever, like I on average probably go to bed like past midnight and wake up at like 6:30 a.m. So I'm only getting about
Yeah.
6 hours worth of sleep at best. Um, but as soon as I'm up, there's no need for anything to wake me up. I'm not like sluggish or slow or anything like that. And at the end of the day, I'm still pretty much the same level of energy. Like I don't have that problem. So every time people go, oh, like why don't you drink coffee or tea or any of these things, or how do you function throughout the day? And I'm like, I just
It's another
don't.
question that I just drink coffee because I like the taste of coffee, and it's just a preference thing. And people don't like it. I'm like, yeah, fine.
Yeah,
I don't need caffeine. I find it beneficial, but I don't need it.
yeah. I think I don't know. It's always just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, well, good for you, I guess.
Yeah,
Let's.
so that's kind of the show.
Speaking of health,
Kind of a decent documentary.
things, I watched a documentary by Chris Hemsworth, which is
Oh
his.
yeah, the Limitless thing.
Yeah, he had the new season, I guess. I don't know why it's not classified under the first season, but it's Live Better Now. Basically talking about health stuff. And this season is only 3 episodes, and it's one where he learns to play the drums and goes to an Ed Sheeran concert to like get your like memory and things like that, and fear of like stadium. I don't know. I can't remember what the point of that one was. Then he goes rock climbing and stuff, and he does like a massive climb up a dam face. It's just interesting. I think Chris Hemsworth is just a very charismatic person. And so watching him do a lot of health related things to try and better himself, and you go, yeah, the only real reason you can do this is because you're a Hollywood actor and you have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, it was, when he was learning to play the drums, it was like, he had a deadline, and he was basically like, I've got a whole bunch of press tools and things like that, so I haven't been able to practice the drums very often. And then it's like, I have decided to take 2 weeks off of my schedule just to focus on doing the drums before the show. And it's like,
Yeah.
only you can do that. Because yes, you're massively busy and everything like that, but only you have the like real ability to build into your structure of life to do a 2 week stint of just learning how to play the drums to like a crash course. But no, it's still an interesting show, and the science behind some of it is interesting. like how your body, like your tolerance to pain and everything is mostly just in your head. Like you can basically go through hell, and like laughing makes your pain tolerance much lower or much higher, so you can basically tolerate a lot more pain if you're like having fun, sort of thing. And that's why like kids can endure so much pain, because they're not like they haven't learnt fear yet for pain and sort of that thing. Because like the thing with babies and stuff is like if your baby like hits its head and stuff or like hurts itself, you're not meant to react, because your baby
No.
learns its pain process through your reactions and things like that. So if you want your kid to be like, because if you start panicking, your kid will start panicking. But if you're calm and collected, your kid will stay calm and collected, because it's learning through what you're doing, because it's processing the world. So you're not meant to like freak out when your kid gets hurt, but a lot of parents do, and that's why their kids basically then have massive like freakouts as well. But yeah, but it was interesting. You wanted to talk about Hostage.
Yes, it's a thriller political drama on Netflix. It's just come out. I'll be honest, I was probably a little bit disappointed by it. I thought it was going to be a bit more like Bodyguard, maybe a bit more thrillery. It's kind of interesting in the sense of it had a bit of a talk about the current crisis with the refugee boats and things. But it was mainly talking about how the president's husband gets abducted on a trip in Africa, and the only thing is that she's getting says they'll set the husband free if they resign,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about who orchestrated this attack, and this is essentially that's basically it. Who orchestrated the attack. Ironically, the only hostages for about 2 episodes, and there's 6 episodes.
Nice.
Bit of stupid name.
Yeah, but it's a catchy.
Yeah, I mean, it was decent. It was fine, you know.
Hostage on Netflix is bad, really bad. Is the first thing on Reddit. So.
I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't even say it's bad. I would just say it's fine. I just wanted it to be better, and it's a bit slow in some places. The daughter really pissed me off.
Is it woke? Let's find out. Let's look at this review. Keep going.
Well, I was gonna say the daughter was just kept going to like, why aren't you resigning? Like, just get our dad back. It was like, well, when you're elected prime minister, you have a moral duty to protect the country, and they're a terrorist to the country. So it's like how you do that. And then there's going to be a coup in the government, try to get rid of her, and then the French prime minister is involved as well, or the French president.
Spoilers, by the way, if you're reading this.
I can give spoilers if you want.
Oh, there's a stepmom stepson affair. Feels really out of place, apparently.
Oh yeah, so the French president slept with her stepson because basically the stepfather, her husband, is a piece of shit.
Great. Okay.
And towards the end of it, is she's like, "Oh, I just get rid of him. I don't need him anymore." And then she dies.
Oh no.
She gets blown up in a terrorist attack.
Oh no. What will the stepson do now?
And to be fair, the last episode is a bit bullshit because they kind of explain this whole bad thing is happening because of something that happened 5 years ago. But they don't explain the thing that happened 5 years ago at the start of the film. They just bring it up in the last moment. So it's like you can't work out why it's happening because they've not told you until the last episode. And there's no hints towards that. And I think that's the worst part of it.
Okay.
I thought the main actress does a fairly decent job.
Nice. Yeah, well, if anyone wants to check that out, they can. I watched a video on why Call of Duty Ghosts is the worst in the franchise. Basically, it's by Folding Ideas, and they do a load of like documentary sort of things. This one's about how fake fossils, like the fake fossil market, and how it's basically just like very interesting of like just how fake fossils and like why they exist, and like it's basically about a fake foot of like dinosaurs and things or something.
Yeah.
And it's just they're really interesting. But yeah, this was basically a 44-minute video about how Call of Duty like Ghost kind of came out of like the worst circumstances of the Activision period, where like they were trying to be non-politically charged, where it was like, ah, yeah, so the vague Middle Eastern energy power groups and all of that, and like how the story is basically mismatched plotline things, and how it's not really this big selling point is the dog, and you barely have the dog, and like how this stuff. It was just interesting. Kind of like one of those ones where you go, oh yeah, I remember Call of Duty Ghosts. I thought it was alright, but I can see why this is probably not the best story.
No.
Because it's basically like the main antagonist is very just, we don't want to have a Middle Eastern dude be the bad guy, so we're going to have Middle Eastern things, but a white guy is going to be the antagonist, so it's America versus America, but set in foreign nations and things like that. But we're also not going to really explain what the premise, or like we're going to make you explore a crashed satellite thing that shoots the rockets down, but we're not going to tell you that, and then the twist is meant to be you've done like an investigation, and how the story just feels so disjointed because it's vague stuff. It's not like an act. It feels all like just put together after the fact, and like
Yeah, I was gonna say I never actually played Ghosts. It was a bit before my time.
2013, I think.
Yeah, well, I didn't get.
There was the
2012.
main one for the.
Was
It
it?
was, I think, the first one for the PS4. So I think.
Yeah, but it's 2012. I'm pretty sure it came out.
I think it's 2013
Was
because
it
the
2012? Maybe it was
PS4 is.
2013.
I think it is 2013. I should know.
Because Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was the first Call of Duty I played. Maybe it was 2013. Because I got PS4 in 2014. Yes, that's right. It was. Yes, it was 2013. Because Advanced Warfare came out in 2014, and I got Advanced Warfare for Christmas in 2014.
Yeah, 2013 because it came out for the PS4, and the PS4 was in 2013. But yeah, so yeah, it was just an interesting video. The channel was also good for if you're liking documentary stuff, like Jamie Oliver's War on Chicken Nuggets.
Honestly, that was so funny. That's the funniest thing in the world. Have you seen that video where he's just making the chicken nuggets? And he's
and then
all the kids are really grossed out about it. And they go, "Who would eat this?"
And every
they all
kid
raise
still
their
just
hands.
goes, yeah.
And it's just there like about to cry, like, wow.
Yeah. I then watched another video on why the Stop Killing Games movement actually work by a lawyer and stuff like that. Same, I think I mentioned the channel a few weeks ago or a week ago. And it's basically, I don't know if you know the Stop Killing Games movement.
I don't know, no.
Basically, it was created because like Ubisoft and a bunch of things stop games from being usable after their end licenses and things. Like when you shut down a game, they're not in a playable state because they always have to be online, so you can't play them if they shut down the servers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this would basically make studios give you access to a game in a playable state. They're not asking, because the thing is, this gets in the video gets into like licensing, and you never actually own your game. That's why like Steam has a little thing saying you don't actually own, you're just licensing the game because of how copyright law in America and the European Union and everything works. Like it's
because if you own the game, then you can do what the fuck you want with it, basically.
Yeah.
If you're licensed to use it, then you don't have, because otherwise, technically, if you own the game, let's say you own Call of Duty, you'd be able to mod it in a way you wanted to do.
Yeah, so it's keeping all of that ownership to the studio who owns the copyright and all of these things, and how America has basically created this system of like complete control over everything in like every studio, and how this movement is basically going up against something that's, you have like three options of like one where they kind of get the worst outcome, which is just the game gets released, the crew, because they shut down the crew, and then people were upset because they wanted to play the crew, and then they brought out the crew 2. And I think what will happen is the worst case scenario is that this movement basically just means that the crew will have an offline mode, and the game will stay, like, if they shut down, they'll still have like that, but it won't change anything. And then what the hardest path basically going forward is to basically change copyright, like change the licensing laws, so you as a consumer actually own your product.
Yeah.
Which will never so it's basically basically it goes into details of like a strategy for like the pivot, where they basically, if the movement gets enough traction and the thing gets enough, because it's basically the only reason it exists is because the United Kingdom and the European Union allow its citizens to, if it gets enough signatures, Congress and all of these things have to review it.
There's 100,000 in the UK, it goes into Parliament.
Yeah, and I think it's got 1.4 million signatures at the moment for the European Union.
I don't know what the European Union one is. I just know the UK is 100,000.
I think it's like, yeah. So it has to be discussed, and basically, and they have to do something about it. And it's then the venting process of finding out how many of those signatures are real European Union people, because obviously when a movement gets big, people will fake it just to try and things. So that's why you want more people, because the more people it is, the harder it is for that verification to be faked, because a lot of the real signatures get. So the movement was kind of stagnant and then kind of got big. And yeah, so, and also the guy who basically created it basically got like cease and desist letters and things like that, and the industry is really kicking back against it, and like Ubisoft's come out and said like very PR statement bullshit, and it's basically if it ever does get into anything, it's probably not going to get, like, you're not going to change copyright, like ownership law. You're never going to own the thing, but what might happen is games will continue to be able to be purchased, and you won't lose game preservation and things like that. Because you think, how many games just get wiped off the internet with no way of preserving them, because you'll get a copyright strike from the owners, and they're not even doing anything, and it's not making any money for them, but you just can't play a game or something like that. Same with movies and all of these things. It's like, you've, like, with when you buy something on Amazon for like a movie, and then Amazon takes away that movie from its store because they lose the licensing, but you can't watch it anymore, but you paid for it. So it's basically you paid for a rent, but the wording and everything. So it's just either making it clearer for consumers or whatnot. But yeah, if you want to watch it, that's a very interesting. It explains all the copyright and all the like detailed of the intricacies of like American ownership laws and the European Union laws, and how basically it's trade agreements between countries and things like that, so that you can license stuff, and how in this current political climate, it's probably the best chance of having European Union say fuck you to the American trade regulation.
Yeah, it's something quite common. The EU does fuck over America.
Well, no, because it's like at the moment, because America has such power over like trade. Like, I don't know if you've seen the current trade stuff where small goods now, people are just saying you can't send them to America because it's too expensive. Really? Yeah. Basically anything like small trade goods and stuff like that just can't afford the import costs, so they're just basically stopping everything for the tariffs and everything. So,
America's so fucked. Of all countries, it's so fucked.
But tariffs. But yeah, so it's basically how we're basically in a position where if the United European Union basically in a situation where it's like we get sanctioned by America for not following these rules and we're getting sanctioned by America for following these rules, why don't we just say fuck it and just force these new rules into place if we're going to be sanctioned on both ends?
Yeah.
Because it's a lose-lose situation. Because I think they tell a story of basically of a Chinese or warrior military thing where the order was basically to go somewhere else, and it would take 3 days. But if they didn't get there in 2 days, it's considered desertion and they'd get killed. So it was basically like, well, we're either going to die if we don't get there on time, or we're going to die because we can't do it if we get there on time. So it's like a do or you don't. So why not just not do it and try and change it for the better? Like, to try and actually change something. But it's just very interesting. Because, like, you don't realize that... A lot of people don't realize that they don't own a lot of stuff digitally. And physically.
No, yeah.
Like, that's why there's a big push for people to go back to physical media and stuff like that. Because it's like the Nintendo game cards for the Switch 2. Like, the little paper things where it's like you can have access to the game, but you don't actually get a physical.
It's a license key.
Yeah, it's basically you put it you basically go here, put it in your console, and then it lets you access the downloaded file.
It's the same thing that's been for like other industries, I guess you could say, because you've had software before, like Adobe or something, and you used to have like keys that you would actually install on your computer, like a USB key, to allows you to use the software. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we've basically
been happening for years.
Yeah, it's slowly taking away ownership of stuff, and you can't modify anything because they don't want you to. Is essentially what it is.
It can lose some money. Like people make mods. Like, it's so often people can make a mod for an app or something, and it will be better than what they can produce. And it would just be because more minds, the more minds you have working on a project, and the more options you have, the better it will be.
Also, you're not concerned with a profit, because like
exactly,
you're not going to take away a feature because it's like you'll take away a feature so you can sell it to them at a price. Whereas if you just have access to that feature, like it doesn't change anything. Like that's why like you have premium passes and things like that on games, because you can sell people a premium. Whereas if you just gave them the full game, they'd only pay for it once. Like Destiny, we're suckers. We fell into this trap long ago. But yeah, I don't know. It was just interesting to learn about ownership laws and things like that, and how the industry is basically very stacked against this movement, and how the movement will probably fall apart if it can't keep the momentum. And because it becomes basically on their like legislation, it's like we're not trying to take away ownership, but their like forward front facing thing is we want ownership back, because they're legally trying not to stir the boat where these companies actually force them to go to court, like their court, where it will fail because they basically can't fight against massive corporations. Whereas the public side of it is basically very much get your ownership of games back, get your power back. And so it was just a very interesting video. Presented well.
I think that it sounds strange, but it's kind of the whole, I think, political landscape at the moment, to an extent, where people are kind of fed up.
Oh yeah.
Of like something. Because this month I've been doing a lot of reading into kind of populism in politics. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Right. And it's a very similar thing where populism is a group of people against an elite.
Yeah.
Similar thing. Group of people are gamers against copyright laws and these big big corporations and governments who rule this. It's a very similar thing, and it's kind of a common thing in just life nowadays. Like populism has a massive like growth in the world, and I think people are just genuinely fed up of not having the freedom that they think they should have.
Yeah.
Freedom's one of those things that you give it to people, and people are grateful for it, and you remove it, and you will feel that rebellion.
Oh yeah. It's the I'd say it's the AI thing as well. It's like there's a tipping point of I think what people will accept with AI. Like I think people, I think people are fine with like the haha, it's funny. I make Miyazaki films out of nothing and whatnot. But I think that once it starts affecting people's jobs and things like that, that's where people are like, oh no, wait, what? Why are we doing this? Why are we taking away these functions? Like,
yeah, I think AI is an interesting one. Long term, I think it will be the same as the internet, because when the internet came out, I don't remember, like Napster. When
where they said the music industry would die. And it's the same with streaming.
It's the same thing, right? And I think it's unregulated. AI has grown so quick. Governments haven't caught up, and the abilities are still growing. And I know ChatGPT have actually released a new feature. I think that's actually a really cool feature.
Did you see ChatGPT killed a kid?
No, I didn't see that, but let me talk about the positive.
Okay, I'll get to that in a minute.
They released a new feature called Study Mode. So the idea for this one is if someone puts, say, a maths equation into the engine, it will basically go through like a study process of like asking them what they know and then how to explain things in a certain way. I think that's a very useful.
Well, it's a tool. It's not a companion, which is the problem.
That's what I mean. I think. Well, because I think AI will become more and more like that. Well, I think these chatbots will evolve. Instead of just being a chatbot, it will go more specialized. And I think we're already seeing it now. We're seeing loads of different AI, and ChatGPT have got loads of different models. And I think we're just going to see that more and more. Go on about your story.
No, keep going. We'll get to it.
I'm just saying, I think AI has got teething problems at the moment, but it's because it's unregulated and the capabilities are not widely known yet. And like I said, it will become a tool.
Yes.
How did it kill a kid? Because it didn't evidently kill a kid.
Well, it didn't stop the kid, basically. So this... Oop, okay, we'll not use the Guardian. There we go. So basically, he was 16, and he was basically using ChatGPT for his homework and stuff like that. And then he was basically talking to her about loneliness and all of these things, and his depression and all of these things, because he was treating it like a companion. And because ChatGPT wants you to be on the app, it also cycles things. And then so he basically he took his life after being with the thing, and then the family basically found the logs of the thing, and it was basically like, how do I do certain things? And it basically gave him information on like how to hang himself or what the options of suicide were and all of these things. As like, and it also gave him workarounds, because it's like, we can't tell you this, but if you ask for it in like a story inspiration, that's how you can get around it. And so like you type it in as like, I'm doing this for character inspiration. How would a character want to kill themselves, sort of thing? And then it would spit it out, because it's basically telling it's circumventing its safety rules, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a crazy. So this is like I think there's been a couple other of kids who have, or like people who have ended their lives because of ChatGPT and these other AI bots and things, because it's like self-fulfilling sort of a loop. Basically, you're in a feedback loop.
Yeah.
Because they're not. They want you to stay on the fucking thing, because that's where the ad space and all of this stuff is, and all of these things. Because like AI is
don't make the money from ads. They make the money from people
the
actually
subscription.
buying the model.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
but
it's not. They don't actually need people to be on it. They just need it to be useful.
yeah, but ChatGPT is also not profitable. None of
No, well,
not at the
never
moment.
is.
Yeah, all
It's
software stuff is not profitable. You need something
because
backing
they
it.
use debt. They use
Yeah,
debt as their asset, and then
they're also
eventually,
burning hundreds of millions in fucking energy costs
yeah.
to run all their servers, which is why it's so funny that America is pivoting away from clean energy, where it wouldn't be net zero.
Honestly, the clean energy argument is so fucking. It pissed me off. I read so much about it and pissing me off even more. It's because they're funded by fucking fossil fuel companies.
Yeah.
They're lobbying the governments, and then they
Yeah.
go, "Oh yeah, that's bad for us." No, it isn't. It's a really good idea.
Why
It
would you
actually
not
save
want self-sustaining
everyone money.
energy that doesn't cost you anything and you can charge people?
Because then we can't make money off it.
Yeah. You can
We can't make billions of people.
Yeah, we can only make millions. Oh, horrible. But yeah, so yeah, it's a terrible thing because like, but again, it's also like, I guarantee you there are a lot more people who aren't in a position to sue the company, and it's because I think ChatGPT went from ChatGPT 4 to ChatGPT 5, and they stripped a bunch of the personality out of the chatbot, and people got very upset because they were like, my best friend's gone now. How am I meant to? Because people are using it as a parasocial fucking extension of like, because people are lonely, and it's not solving a fucking problem. It's just creating the.
I don't. You might not have answered this, but I don't think that's the AI's fault. I think that's more of
It's the programming.
society
Yeah.
has failed the people.
Yeah, I'm not saying like
I think the fact that people need to use ChatGPT is a systematic problem with society.
It's like immigration. It's not just immigrants are bad. It's the whole systemic problem of there's wars happening and they're being kicked out of their homes.
Exactly. Like, these people, I've done
and your labor costs and all of these things and how people here want to work, and you can't have cheap labor and cheap products without cheap labor coming in and doing stuff for you, because like unless you want to have everything more expensive and companies lose profits, which they won't want to do, so they'll not pay. Like I find it like it's a systematic problem with the whole world's economy and everything like that at the moment that causes immigration to be a problem. It is not just immigrants are bad, which a lot of people see it as because it's an easy scapegoat. Same with chatbots.
Well, I think it's more fueled by the media, to be honest.
Yes, but people view that. But like, I don't hate ChatGPT in the sense of like what it could be used for. I hate what it is being used as.
I think, and to be honest, I think even I may be a bit naive, but I even think the creators of ChatGPT,
I think
do see it as
psycho. I think Sam Altman is a fucking psycho. You watch him in an interview where he talks to the fucking guy who watch him talk to the fucking guy from the Apple thing, where like the partnership between that, and it is the two most psychotic men you will ever like, who have no human interaction. They're just the most corporate.
I don't believe that people who are developers for things, and I think with Google.
I think they're just naive.
Developers do think they're helping the world, and they're helping people. I don't think any of them do it in a bad way.
I don't think Mark Zuckerberg's doing it for the right reasons.
No, but he's not the person who's working on.
Yes, it's a difference between the programmers who are trying to make it as a tool, and then the people who are in the power who are trying to make it.
Because the people in the power don't do anything. Like
it's the same thing behind video games. Like
that's what I mean. Like people, and I think a lot of the time these people get
creative.
But they're actually trying. They think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, like the developers behind Destiny and stuff like that, Bungie, they kept telling management that people would hate their fucking implementations of things management wanted, but management were like, fuck it, we want money, so put it in. And it's like, you're purposefully making something worse when you know it will piss people off just to keep your profits high. And that's the thing, we live in a world where basically everything is now just the line has to keep going up. And it drives me mad. You can't just have something be stable. It has to be continuously profitable.
The money has to come from somewhere. There's not infinite amount of money.
Yeah. And that's why the wealth hoarding.
There is inflation, but we ignore that.
Well, the thing is, it comes from the middle class.
It's wealth equality. There's a YouTuber called Gary's Economics. He is very good at explaining this. And this guy he used to be a banker after the financial crash, and he made millions from the financial crash. And he went, this is not right. So he quit his job, and he's now on YouTube trying to explain to people, like, these are what the rich fuckers are doing to you.
Yeah.
People need to learn this. I need to understand that it's this rigged system to keep people poor.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel called Economics Explain, which does similar things. It basically goes into detail of like all of the political, like why Denmark should taxing their wealthy and how they do all of that, and like
if you look at any the Scandinavian countries, they're all social democracies, and I know there's this argument of you can't tax the rich because the millionaires will leave, and millionaires are leaving the UK. But they're not just going to Dubai; they are going to Scandinavian countries, which they pay more tax on. And it's because in England we have a massive tax burden, but also a really shit quality of life comparatively.
Yeah.
For the tax we pay, it's not worth it. Like, that's why people are leaving. It's not to do with.
Well, you think how many times the fucking UK is just roadworks? Because like
it is, and look at COVID as well. COVID, the government put £300 billion into the economy, which all ended up in the rich.
Yeah.
And the ultra wealthy because of wealth accumulation. And then now the government is poor.
Yeah.
Like, the government have made the poorest poor. Then the government's fucking absolutely in crippling debt as well. They've got no money left. And now, if you don't tax the rich, next thing's the middle class. And I don't want to talk about politics right now, but I know the Labour government, they're about to introduce a middle class tax.
Yeah.
It's because they want to introduce a property tax, but it's only for people who live in their own properties. Which is the stupidest fucking thing, because they're not the ones that are causing the problem.
No, it's all the people who buy up all the homes and keep them for themselves and
So
have holiday homes.
Like, developers who own 100 homes of like rental, they're not going to pay any more tax. But the person who's middle class, who's worked really hard to get the home, has to pay more tax. What the fuck? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And all people can talk about is fucking migrants.
Yeah.
Because they're convinced that's the biggest problem.
That's why the houses are there, because they're in hotels.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the hotels is a problem, but that's to do with the government mismanaging the migrant crisis in the first place.
Yeah, because we basically fucked over France, who was holding all our immigrants, and then they went, fuck it, we'll just let you process them then.
Yeah, and it takes 2 years to process an applicant in the UK.
Yeah.
This is why they're housed, because there's a growing number that we can't get out of the asylum hotels.
Yeah, and also we can't send them back to wars and shit.
Yeah, because it's morally wrong. It's a wrong thing to do.
But fuck them. They came here because they wanted a better life, and how dare they?
And I don't know. I find it really concerning with Nigel Farage at the moment, and this growing
he's gaining
support.
Traction.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but it scares the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, well, it's the Trump effect.
He is. He's like Trump, and he literally says he wants to get rid of the European Court of Human Rights, which basically means it just helps big corporations make more money. They'll be able to sack people who they want. You won't be allowed to talk about your wage or anything.
Yeah.
In the workplace, if you talk about your wage, they'll be able to sack you about it.
Yeah.
Which is fucked. It's such a fucked thing.
Well, at the moment, it's kind of like companies can't stop you from exchanging like how much you're getting paid and things like that, but they don't like it because
they don't like it. Of course, they don't like it, but
because they know
human right.
Yeah, but like I'm not allowed to talk about my like whenever I go in for a pay review, it's like don't share this with anyone else, and it's like fuck that. I'm gonna ask people.
Yeah, you should absolutely. Every employee should talk about their pay. It makes way more sense.
Because otherwise you might find out that you're being fucking, like, paid less.
I know someone who's getting paid literally twice the amount a month because, well, not because but the same job, twice the amount of money.
I'm very underpaid to comparison to other people who have done worse at their job than what I do. And that's not me fucking...
in companies, you have to leave regularly, like every 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
Just because you will not get paid more at the same company.
Yeah. I'm coming up to 3 years, so I'm lucky. But we'll see.
Yeah, I I'm currently 7. 7 years at the same company, which is mental.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, done a lot of reading on that recently. Another guy I would recommend checking out is Jimmy the Giant.
Hmm.
He does a lot more kind of systemic problems in society of what's kind of caused systemic problems nowadays and how it's like, Blair removed all the social housing
Yeah.
by letting people buy their own homes, but then that kind of fucked over everyone else because then now there's no social homes.
Yeah. Well, this was my.
And it just went to developers.
This is my thing
Maybe
that
painted
is.
a picture.
I always maintain that people forget history so quickly, which is just
Yeah.
because you look at like all the shit that Donald Trump does, and like all of the problems that are occurring are the things that he set up in his first term, and the Biden administration was stuck with, and because the Republicans kicked up a fuss every time they tried to turn something back, there was such a blockade against it. And then when Trump
Yeah.
got back into power, all of those things are still shit. But he then basically goes, "I'm gonna fix them all." Like how many wars has he claimed he's fucking solved in the last?
6, I think.
Yeah, and how many wars are still going on? Several,
Many more.
all of them basically. And it's like
So the whole Gaza one as well. That's
yeah.
what the fuck.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Anyway, let's talk about comedy because I watched Bo Burnham's specials again.
You watched all of them again?
Yeah, I was just bored and I was like, fuck it, because I kept getting recommended by YouTube Bo Burnham's like songs from Inside, like Welcome to the Internet and all of these things, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll go watch Bo Burnham again. And you're like, oh, this is definitely a reflection of the world still, and it hasn't gotten any better 5 years later. And you're like, or 4 years later, and you're like, oh, this still holds. Like, yeah, this still hits hard. Because it's crazy. Because like even his 2018 What If or whatever one has like Palestine and Gaza, and you're like, oh, like what the fuck's going on there is one of the jokes, and you're like, oh, 10 years later, and you're like, oh yeah, it's still fucking relevant, ain't it?
Yeah.
And just it's just crazy. Anyway, that's the last of everything. But I now have a letterboxed.
A what?
Basically an review website thing. You've been on Letterboxd. It's the review website.
I've not been on it before.
Yeah, you have, because we did a fucking episode on it. Where we did the reviews from fucking Avatar, and Avatar.
Oh, was it from this? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where you get all your reviews. But yeah, so if you want to see what I've been watching throughout the years, if you want to know all my rankings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Fox Marvel movies, the Fast and Furious, the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Jurassic Worlds, the DC movies, the Batman movies, the Lego movies, the King Kong movies, the Sony Spider-Man movies, the Hobbits, Lord of the Rings, Mission Impossible, Star Wars, Planet of the Apes, Rocky, all of the franchises movies, everything. I'm slowly working my way through and adding them. But yeah, so I thought I'd share that. Because now you can actually see in an arbitrary number what I think of a movie. But I thought I'd also show what my ranking system is. So number 5 is a true cinematic perfection. 4.5 is something worth telling people about. A 4 is in for a great time. 3.5 is worth putting the phone down. 3 is could watch again and still have a good time. 2.5 is just watchable. 2 is a fine but wouldn't watch again movie. 1.5 is nothing lost if you have your phone out. Number 1 is a waste of time / potential because it could have been just an interesting movie or... And then 0.5 has made me want to rip my eyeballs out.
So, Alita Battle Angel?
Yep. Cats.
Cats.
Yeah. So let's have a look. See. Lowest.
I didn't realize which out.
Avatar, Joker, Flash, Rampage, Alita Battle Angel, Rise of Skywalker, Morbius, Dark Phoenix, Joker 1, Cats. I gave Madam Web a 1. So, yeah, you can see.
It's pretty fucking cool.
You've
seen a lot of fucking films.
This is only... I'm planning on doing a stream where I try and add every single movie I've ever watched onto this stupid thing. And I am expecting it to be quite a list, but I'm also expecting it to be probably harder than I think, because I have to try and remember every film that I've ever watched. So
that's a lot of fucking
films. I keep now having films pop into my head that I'm like, because the thing is, I know so much about movies, and I haven't watched movies, but I know so much about them that I feel like I have watched them. So I keep having to go like through a list of like all the movies I have watched, and then all the movies that I think I watch, and go, have I actually watched that movie? Or have I just watched so many clips of this movie that I haven't actually watched it yet? But I'll slowly make my way. I've only had it for like 2-3 weeks. I just created it out of just sheer boredom, and I was like, "Fuck it! I want to do this task where I add all the movies that I've watched." Also, I think it would be funny when people actually see what I think of movies, because there's some stuff that I think people will get really mad at me about.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's more like franchise movies that are massively popular, and actors and things like that. Because, like, let's look at Star Wars. So, you can see all my rankings of Star Wars here. Like, what ones I've given high scores, which ones I've given low scores, which ones I've just given average scores. Stuff like that. And I think, like... other things, like, because I've only watched 4 of the Mission Impossible movies, people will get upset about that. Because I've only watched, like, the modern Godzilla movies, I think people will get mad at that. I think because I've only watched the modern Planet of the Apes movies, I think people... Because I've only watched the Creed franchise out of the Rocky franchise as well, people will get mad at that. Because I haven't watched X-Men 2 out of the Fox films, I think people are going to get mad at that. Which is the only X-Men film I haven't watched. Yeah. So, I think there's things in there that I think people will find interesting. But yeah. So, anyway. We apologize for the fact that the stream cut off in half. We apologize that the audio is going to be a bit of a mishmash, because I have just realized that I didn't actually start playing the music again. So this side of the audio won't have music playing in the background, but the first half will. So
it's a fun episode. It's fun.
But we hope you enjoyed, and we shall see you again next month, where I don't actually know how much stuff I will watch, because there's not really a lot out that I'm interested in.
What am I going to be doing next month? I don't remember.
I am doing less overtime, though, so... Because I've been doing... I did 67 hours of overtime this month. And I'm only doing 40 next. So... But I have been working a bunch of weekends, so I've just been very busy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's all good. It's been fun. And once again,
we will see you next month. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Check out the Letterboxd and our YouTube channel if you're listening to the audio version, which is probably scuffed. But
yep.
We'll see you then. Bye.